Hello StarCraft fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between Telecom and SCV on Orbital Shipyard. Now I know that said, this is the finals of a 1v1 Masters level tournament, but Telecom has hit GM on the Korean ladder and I feel like he's just leveling up on the North American ladder right now. And so let's get right on into it. In the bottom left of Orbital Shipyard we have the red Zerg player, it is Telecom, representing Ever. And in the top right of Orbital Shipyard, we have the blue Terran player. It is SCV. Such an appropriate name. Isn't there a pro player named the SCV? I think there is, but this is just SCV. So I don't think this is a professional level Terran player, but I could be very wrong about that. You never know where Smurfs will lurk. Alright, just checking the music levels there. They sound a little bit better. I think some people complained they were a little loud in previous casts, and I did some testing, and I think this is nice, isn't it? You can hear it, but it's not necessarily overpowering. I don't have to yell to make myself heard over it, but look at this. Command Center first coming out of SCV. Oh, goodness. Oh, this is a strategy I like to see against Zerg. Zergs are definitely going to go hatch first, which means the spawning pool is not going to be out for quite some time. They really can't punish this type of play, especially if SCV manages to wall off here at the front, which looks like he's going to be able to do with no problem. So this extra income, basically SCV had to choose, do I want to go for extra income early or do I want to go for the harassment early? And he chose the income for the macro style play. What that does is gives you additional minerals, ding, additional Vespene gas, ding, with which to get your upgrades, to get your army, to expand again if needs be. And if you can get to 3 bases, a 3-basing Terran is a very scary thing to a Zerg player. We will have to see what Telecom does to deal with this. Right now he is playing blind. He's sending overlords out to scout this base and this base, which is good. But again, he won't see the timing on that that command center until I want to say another 3 minutes. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll see how fast overlords actually are. But in the meantime, I mean, he's going to play a little bit more defensively. He really should be getting a 3rd hatch if he sees this command center coming up, because again, this slows down the army of SCV, and taking a 3rd hatch would be the smart way to go. So now he has some lings, which are good for base defense, but little does he know there's not a Reaper coming. These are Marines, these are defensive Marines that are coming out of the barracks. It's a full wall off now, ready to get set, and not quite there for the wall. 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. There it is, there's the full wall. No lings can get through that now, especially with the Marine on the backside. Sorry, Zerglings, no way at all, Jose. So, continuing, going for a factory. I like that play indeed. The Overlord trying to scout things out. Once again, Telecom, no idea that there's a command center there. He probably thinks there's one now, but he doesn't know it's already up and running. Doesn't know it's already an orbital command. Oh, Telecom, you're in a tough spot here, buddy. Roaches on the way, speed. Furlings on the way. When in doubt, get roaches and speed. That makes a lot of sense. Is there a lair coming up? There is not, just these roaches. And again, I don't see a lot of aggression coming out of SCV. There are a couple Hellions on the way, but I mean, it's 2 Hellions. You could probably handle that with a couple Queens and some Speedlings. You don't really need a ton of roaches for that. The Ling pops up and sees what's going on, and this, I mean, there is no tell. There is no information gained by that Ling popping up there. You don't know what's behind it. You don't know if there's a starport coming. You don't know if it's an armory. You don't know if it's a double factory. Nothing whatsoever. Telecom is playing completely in the blind and is just making roaches. Making roaches. I hope these are offensive roaches and not defensive roaches, because if they're defense, they're overkill. If they're offense, they might be able to do some damage here. Let's see if starport is going to turn into a double pumping liberator machine. Ready, set, go. It is! Double pumping liberators from the starport, and this might be enough to save this front door, because these roaches are mad. They're pushing out. This is a 2-base attack from Telecom. I'm not sure. Okay, there's the 3rd hatchery. So it's not a full-on all-in with roaches and lings, but he is actually committing quite a bit to this attack. Right now, it is 36 to 31 harvesters, 38 now. The Terran player definitely ahead on that count. The income 1,500 to 1,100 in favor of SCV right now. And can this attack succeed? If the Liberators pop out in the next, like, 10 seconds, might be able to hold this off. But right now, this Marine is going to die. I'm not sure if it knows it, but he is. Sorry, Marine. And there come the Liberators, throwing out double Defender mode circles. The Roaches are forced to retreat immediately. Yeah, exactly. Liberators with Concord cannons in Defender mode. Defender mode. That's it. Defender mode. Does 85 damage per shot. Roaches only have 145 hit points. Just not great at all. So right now the Roaches are playing the contain game. Some Ravagers coming up as well. You're not going to get Ravager eggs here. Liberator is going to take those down. Going to kill some of these Roaches. Getting the Ravagers, targeting those might be good as well. Ew, one of the Ravagers does fall in a fiery ball of fire. Having a hard time expressing myself today. I'm throwing up more Defender mode circles, just 2, right here and right here. This back door is protected temporarily by debris, but if the Roaches want to knock that down, I think they could. So that attack was okay. It was not the best thing I've ever seen from Telecom. SCB handled it pretty much perfectly. However, the drone count, look at this. It's up now for Telecom 53 to 42. Really droned behind that attack, really saturated that third base, which is exactly what he needed to do, getting that double gas as well. And now it is a 3-base Zerg versus a 2 1/4 base Terran player. That's exactly where Telecom wants to be. This is a big swell of Hellions. Is this a... I was going to say, no, this is not a mech push from SCV. That's a lot of barracks coming up. I was going to say, that's not really the standard play right now in TVZ. Usually bio with Liberators mixed in, which looks like that's exactly how SCV is planning to play this. There's a Spire on the way. Is this enough Hellions to kill these Roaches? Hellbats, maybe. Here we go. Hellbats getting surrounded by Lings, by Roaches as well, and pretty good stutter step here, but every single one of these Hellbats are going to die, taking a few Roaches with them. But maybe not that many. Resources lost right now, 1,000 minerals, 300 gas for the Zerg, and 1,200 minerals, no gas for SCV right now. Playing this very economically, playing this very smart. This third base is just about to be up and running. Again, there are 51 SCVs on the field. A few of these are going to transfer. Super oversaturated over here, going to transfer down to the third. And the income will continue and actually increase for SCV at this point. Here comes a Liberator harass. A little bit late on this. I'd like to see it earlier. But I guess SCV was busy defending at the time. So out of range of that Spore Crawler is pretty much where it wants to be. And don't go to the Spore Crawler. Don't go. Oh, staying just outside of the range of the Spore Crawler. Going to one-shot some drones here. 1 drone, 2 drones, 3 drones, and 4 drones get killed before the pull. If the Spore Crawler positions itself a little bit out here, it will be able to hit this guy. Oh, the Mutalisks are chasing it, and they're faster as well. Liberator in a lot of trouble here. Gonna run for her life, and should really just stand and fight. There's no way anything is gonna happen here by running, but completely dead, because again, Liberators do have splash damage. If you look at them in their non-defender mode, which none of these ones are, any Liberators in non-defender mode? No. Anyway, they have the Lexington missiles that do splash damage, which makes them pretty good against mutas if they're in numbers. And they are. So here comes a push out. It looks like these mutas are going to try to harass some Roaches and some Lings as well. Glial Reconstitution on the way for the Zerg player. Muscular Augments, which mean Hydras, should be part of this group as well. +1 Carapace and +1 Missile. And here come the mutas. And nothing can really stop this right now except a few Marines. There's a missile turret, which is nice, but these Liberators need to get out of defender mode like 2 seconds ago. Ready to go. Out of defender mode. No, huh? Okay, I guess the answer was no. 4th base now up and running for Telecom, looking very, very strong. Indeed, right now has 80 drones and is going to push out, I think, here with an army of Roaches and Hydralisks and just try to go for it. Ravagers probably mixed in there as well. This muta count is probably as many mutas as Telecom is going to make at any point in this game. Mutalisks trying to fly around because there are no upgrades coming up for the mutas. A Changeling thrown down as well. Oh my goodness, no. Oh, SCV, the reflexes almost flew directly into that flock of mutas, pulled out just in time. Just in time, like the last possible nanosecond. All these Lings are going to die. Sorry, Lings, you're all going to die. And yes, those mutas want nothing to do with these Marines that have +1 attack and stim. And maybe they do want something to do with it because a lot of them died there. Liberator, again, here we go. Lexington rocket, 7 damage, 2 attack, 5 range, weapon speed 1.29, and it is splash. It does not say that, but it is. Now the muta count is definitely down, down to a total number of 4. Mutalisks, which is not really enough for an effective harass, especially with missile turrets up. And right here, 2 missile turrets in that base. Wow. 3 over here. Maybe a bit of an over response to the Mutalisks, but the Mutas didn't kill a single worker, so maybe it wasn't too much. Either way, here comes SCV. Smashing down that Overlord, coming out onto the creep. Here come a bunch of Roaches and Hydras, though. That is a lot of Roaches and Hydras. And Liberator is going to get rid of these Mutas, then throw down Defender mode circles and just go to town on these units. But the Hydras are killing the Liberators very, very quickly. A lot of dead Zerg down here, but every single unit in that push is dead, except for a couple medevacs that did manage to evacuate. And here comes Telecom. Pushing out Lurker Den on the way, +2 attack on the way. Centrifugal Hooks on the way for Banelings. I would like to see Banelings. That'd be pretty good here as well. Terran player needs an army and needs it now. Has a lot of bio. Doesn't really have any tanks. Continuing to make Marines and Marauders out of those barracks. And right now it is 200 to 130 supply. Telecom looking very strong. Making those Banelings. Centrifugal Hooks not even here yet. But these Roaches do not care about your Marauders. They do not care about your Marines. They're going to stutter step right on top of your army and annihilate it. There is a small attack down here, a small drop of Marines and Marauders trying to take out Evolution Chambers. Hydralisks trying to deal with that. All the SCVs forced to retreat up here. Banelings rolling in, a little bit gratuitous right now. I don't see a reason for there to be this many Banelings, but they're going to hang out and kind of watch anyway. Lurkers burrowing on this ramp, throwing down spines of death on everything. This small group finally gets cleaned up. Telecom with the offensive ZZZ. Banelings rolling in. All of the SCVs at this third base are completely gone. Defender mode circles maybe going to save the day here. And they're going to try. They're going to get a Roach. Roach is right on top of everything here. The Hydras might want to come up and help here. SCV throwing up the because Roaches are on top of everything. 32 Lings in production right now for SCV, and that's it. SCV's defeated. Telecom is victorious, and SCV has left the game. So pretty fantastic play there from Telecom. I was worried. I was honestly worried when that 2-base attack didn't do very well up here. The Liberators came out just at the right time, but I think the Roaches set up that contain just long enough to allow the command center here not to be built and allow him to get his third base up and running, and kind of took it from there. The harassment was not super effective from SCV. Liberator harass did kill maybe 3 or 4 workers here, but the Mutas came out and shut that down very quickly as well. So, again, fun match. Hope you enjoyed it. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, you take care of yourself.